Hey YouTube! We are back with our Empire playthrough SFO Grimhammer mod for Total Warhammer 2. This is episode 8 of our Let's Play of Balthasar Gelt, heading the Golden Order faction. And we were just about to get into a fight with the vampires, but before then we're going to have to go ahead and end our turn and see what happens next. So let's go ahead and end our turn. We're going to lose a little bit of money. Our hero is going to go ahead and move his way over towards the Red Eye Mountain, I believe it was called. Let's see. I don't think I'll be able to check. No. So, okay. So the Red Eye, I believe it's the Red Eye Mountain. Red Eye Mountain. We'll double check next time. But so we're having our hero warrior priest go in that direction, and we are seeing if we can't bait the vampires a little bit. So they're going to actually go after us. Congrats! They managed to do some damage to a garrison. Let's see what they'll do. So they've kind of exchanged units here a little bit. I wonder, so ideally, they might actually go up north. Yeah, looks like, oh man, looks like Sterling took Krugenheim again, which means I'm going to have to give it back to Telebeckland. Actually, so historically the region of Krugenheim, we've heard this so many times already. Look back at the old episodes specifically if you want to know how many times I couldn't tell you. But at this point, I think we're going to let Sterling hold on to it because we'll increase our fealty with them. Maybe we'll get called. Yeah, so Kevin von Lloydson managed to assault our garrison over here. How dare he? Oh. Oh no. Oh, Dark Elves. Oh no. Oh boy. That might be problematic for the Empire eventually, but we're going to deal with the... Yeah, they're taking Uberstrike too. Oh gosh. Okay, I might have to go send some kind of an army over there to reinforce potentially. But we'll deal with that when we deal with it.
You summon me.
So what we're going to do...
Wind of Shaman, I will.
Let's go ahead and...
Yes. The Empire.
Let's attempt to damage the walls once. Oh, wow, he got himself wounded. Oh, poor booger. Okay, so he critically failed, wounded himself. So he's going to be out of commission probably for a while. We can check on him here. Yeah, he's going to be... Let's see here if it'll... Yeah, it doesn't give me the specifics. That's unfortunate. But yeah, so he's not going to be operational for a little while, which is...
Do not waste my potential.
Which is boo, but what can you do?
Ulrich's will.
So we're going to walk over here to the moot. So it gives me a decisive victory, which is surprising, and I have a feeling that's because of all the artillery support plus magic that I have. So what I think we'll do, let's continue the siege.
I am a supreme patriarch.
Because either way I'm going to take damage, and I'd rather not take too much.
By the comet.
So what I think the plan
Yes,
is
a
going to
sound
be
plan.
is to try and reinforce Gelt's army with
Moving off.
my guy over here, Matternus.
By Sigma's right.
That way we have additional artillery support with some war wagons to increase the ammunition replenishment, which is really good. And that's going to allow us to completely overwhelm all these troops. These horses are going to be rather useless in a siege unless the map is particularly conducive to horses, which it usually isn't. Yeah, this is actually really bad for them because it's got a lot of... This is probably one of the worst maps as far as I'm aware in the game because it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 openings to come in. They don't really have a defensive force. They have vampires play very offensively, so they're going to have a really hard time defending this area. But since I'm not that great at sieges to begin with, I think what I'll do is I think I'm just going to auto-resolve this fight and see how damaged I get. So let's go ahead, auto-resolve. Yeah, not that damaged at all. Again, we kind of overwhelmed them with numbers and artillery, so that's not surprising. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and sack it first to get that money. Oh, Organ mercenaries arrive. Okay, with a great crump, a large group of ogres has appeared nearby. Though generally expected to attack the plunder any settlement they come across, it seems they do not seek a fight, at least not immediately, but are looking for the most lucrative calls to battle they can find. Wholly untroubled by morality or questions of good and evil, ogre mercenaries could be a great boost to your battle ranks, should you choose to hire them.
Ogres, my lord. These brutish nomads are as strong as they are stupid.
So basically, these ogre camps appear for every faction, pretty much. And if you walk somebody over and interact with this circle, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you the chance to recruit some ogre mercenaries. Ogre mercenaries are ridiculously powerful, however, they're very expensive, and they can fill in some gaps. So with this roster, what I think I might need is some cavalry. So we're going to see if we can't...
Move.
Let's walk over here. And we have, so cautiously entering the ogre mercenaries camp, you realize it is not just a single ogre tribe that have arrived, but 3 separate tyrants marching their armies as one. Furthermore, it appears that each tribe has its own combat preference, the likely reason they have grouped together. A reasonable bribe should be enough to convince one of the 3 tyrants to lend you some of his tribe's considerable fat-laden muscle. So what we're kind of in the need for right now is some cavalry. So the Mournfang cavalry, if you look at the unit card at the lower left there, is ridiculously good. So it's got a lot of damage, relatively decent speed, pretty high charge bonus, lots of HP and staying power. It's got some armor, decent leadership. Not the greatest melee defense, but then it's shock cavalry, or it's meant to be shock cavalry. It's monstrous cavalry. So we'll go ahead and hire some Horned Guts tribe. The right of ogrehood to break Mournfangs is vehemently observed by the Horned Guts tribe, masters of the heaviest shock cavalry in the world. Our other options are hire headhunters, so ogre dual weapons, so dual weapon anti-infantry. Maneater great weapons, so they do a little bit of anti-large. And then the Death Belchers tribe, which is just some regular ogres and some Maneater ogre pistols. Now, unfortunately, the ogre pistols don't lend themselves to Balthasar's campaign because they don't get buffed by him. Again, I think we're sticking with the Mournfang cavalry for right now. And let's go ahead and move Gelt a little bit so that he's not taking attrition. And what's going to be unfortunate is I think we might get caught out by the vampires here. I don't think they'll be able to reinforce here, but if they come for me this way, it might be problematic. So what I'm actually going to do is move him back a little bit and put him in that choke point. He doesn't have magic, so I'm not going to bother putting him in that stance. But Gelt does, so I will. And let's go ahead. You know what? I actually have an idea. Let's go and move him over here. Probably should have done this in the first place to figure out where they are. So it's good to have more information. Okay, so he'll probably move over here. He'll move over here. More than likely to attack. He's got some pretty high level units. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. I might end up losing Gelt here, but we're going to see how we go.
Do not waste my potential.
Hopefully that wasn't just the end of the campaign right there. Oh, that would be bad. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a town. And
Praise Sigma.
so we're only able to recruit those ogre mercenary units, I believe, in our owned territory. So here's hoping that Gelt doesn't get too caught out. In theory, I don't think Helmengorst over here is going to be able to get to us without having to do march stance. Yeah, so he's going to stay in march stance, and that means all of his units are going to be crawling at us, which is really good for us. So the first main army that we're going to have to deal with is this guy. Let's see. A lot of infantry, a little bit of cavalry, and then just a whole mess of infantry. Not the worst, not the worst. Okay, but this map, oh, this map has got to be the worst for us right here. Let's see, their speed is 75, my outriders are 85, faster, good. Okay, okay, so this map is horrendous for us because there's a lot of trees, lots of forests, but they're reinforcing, which means they're going to take a long time. So let's actually see where they're reinforcing from, and we're going to decide from there where we set up our guns and artillery, because if they're marching from a poor angle, again, because they're tired, it's going to take them a long time. This is going to potentially work to our advantage quite a lot, because they're not going to be able to get to us. Yeah, they're marching from way over there, unfortunately. Wow, this is just about the worst map for us. Oh man, we are posted up on like a hill covered in forests. So what we'd like to have is this open line of sight. But it's really, we've got the flanked by a forest. Let's not bother. I have a bad feeling about that gamble. So they're going to be trickling in from over here. They're going to be coming at us very slowly again, nothing but skeletons and zombies, and I think a few crypt ghouls, but nothing tragic. So what is the strategy? What is the strategy? I think the strategy is going to be to post up like this, hide an Eldar guard if I can hide them in the forest there to kind of protect this flank. Then we're going to have, let's see, we're going to have our artillery. Whoop. We're going to have our artillery like so, with Eldar guard in the back, kind of keeping an eye depending on where they end up going. 4 more units of spears.
The Empire endures.
Gelt.
Free company.
So the Free Company militia is actually going to go up front, and we're going to have them toggle off skirmish mode, because we're going to want them to deal damage and kind of hang out. This might end up getting them pretty damaged, but that's okay. Outriders there. Let's put some spearmen over on this side and hide them in the forests. Let's see, we got another 3 spearmen units, so we can put these 3 spearmen units here. If those cavalry, oh man, that's just such a bad, so the hill is actually going to cause us a lot of problems because we're not going to be able to see over that hill to shoot them. But I don't think there's a lot of other options for us. Suppose this is a much more open. Let's see, this is at least a little more open. It would put us even further away. What if we were to do that? Kind of try to guide them over this way. Set up our guns like so. Let's see, what are the guns seeing? The guns are still kind of bad, but I don't think there's going to be anything good in this map. So then we can set up our Eldar guard here. Another Eldar guard in the forest like that. Let's see.
We are Sigmar's heirs. By Ulrich's wrath.
Great swords we'll throw here.
Free company! Sigma guides us!
Here and here. Get rid of...
Free company!
Let's have you not run away.
Lord of Metal!
Balthasar Gelt.
We await your orders!
Might have him run forward against some early shots. So let's see if this setup is gonna do it for us. Let's see now. So Graveguard, Crypt Ghouls, we got some Graveguard with great weapons over there. Okay. So that'll deal some real good early damage. Let's go ahead.
By my will alone! That's an order! Quick march!
Shift them over a little bit so they can get a better line. I hope that helps.
Moving now!
Let's see, where's that cavalry? That cavalry...
Ready for war!
Looks like their barded lancers are going that way, they're going that way, so these will still be good in the forest here.
Formation, march!
Gonna keep them kind of hidden. The mortars are doing their work, but they can only do so much.
Hand gunners! Yes, sir! Quickly!
As soon as they come out of the forest, these handgunners should be able to light them up pretty good.
Glory to the Empire! We serve the Emperor! Sigma commands! At your service! Glory to the Empire! We serve the Emperor! Great swords! Spearmen!
See, I think they're probably going to be heading for our mortars over here, which is ideal because then I can catch them out with the Eldard Guard.
I am supreme!
Okay, let's... Yeah, so they've retreated from the Eldard Guard, so the Eldard Guard would keep them safe here and here. Now what I really need to do is, so these wraiths, because they're ethereal, they have a lot of physical resistance, which is going to be hugely problematic for me because they also have a good deal of missile resistance, but they're going to be very vulnerable to Gelt's magic. So what I think I'm going to have to do is focus at least one of them with Gelt's magic. Let's see, you can keep firing there, you can keep firing there, you. Let's see if you can do some damage here, and then we'll readjust you. And then Gelt, we're going to have you use a final transmutation here. You focus those, you focus those. See if you can't get a few shots off there. While you guys see if you can't actually get a few shots off on those great swords. Our Eldard Guard to kind of protect against these black knights over here, so these guys can kind of wander over here, and these Eldard Guard to kind of sort that out.
Free company! Prepare for combat!
Okay, so our Free Company militia are really getting the bad end of this deal with the Banshees. They're really not liking that, and I can't blame them. There's not much I can do to help. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and do that. Where are you firing at? Worry about those. You worry about these. I'm going to try to bolster these.
By Ulrich's wrath!
We're going to see if...
For Heldenhammer! Haste!
Gelt, go in there and help a little bit. Let's have you guys back up.
Sigma guides us.
See if you can't focus that guy down. So Gelt actually does, I think, magical damage, so he's going to be useful against that Banshee. So that's good. We've got the Eldar Guard chasing off that unit. This unit's kind of just sitting around being dopey, and we have these crawling in, like I said, so that's good for us. Let's go take a look, see if we can't figure out what they're doing over there. So we'll have the greatswords run in there. We'll have these two. I think they're... So he's got a bad angle. See if you can't shoot some of those horsemen. You've got a decent angle. You've also got a decent angle. You are doing some damage on the Tithe, which are zombies, not super useful. See if you can't refocus on those great... Actually, let's see if you can't focus on this guy. Do you have magic shots? You don't. I wish you did. That would have been nice. For now, yeah, you have to back up. We need you here more than anything else. And you need to shoot that Banshee. See if you can't take out that Banshee. That Banshee's going to cause us the most problems.
Yes, sir. For France.
So we're going to see if we can't get rid of it overly fast. Got some Black Knights coming our way. We need them shot down real fast. Oh gosh. Okay, Gelt's about to die. That is really not good. I need you up there. Why are the Eldar Guard struggling against lances? They should be having a decent time. I think it's because they're not dealing a lot of damage. They can take a decent punishment, but they can't really stand. They have to like stand and take the charges, and they're not letting them kind of do that. So we're gonna have to retreat Gelt because we really need that magic.
At speed. No lingering. Take the ground. Handgunners. Ulrich's wrath on them. Handgunners. Ready for war. We are Sigmar's heirs. Handgunners. Ready for war. No lingering. I am master of Shamon. Volan stop.
Oh, this is not the time to miscast Gelt.
Our weapons are yours. Withdraw.
Oh, we lost some handgunners. What it is, what it is.
Yes, General.
Their guys are crumbling.
The Empire endures. Spot us the targets. By Ulrich's
Falling to
wrath.
bits, aren't we?
For France! What do you bid?
Oh, what happened, guys? Must have lost the... Gelt's panicked and run. Oh man, we're gonna probably lose this fight.
Handgunners! Yes,
Okay.
my lord! Yes, General!
Okay, no one freak out just yet. We might still have a chance here. We just need to have you guys.
Strike them down! Awaiting orders! For the Emperor! Handgunners! Sigmar calls! Handgunners! The Empire endures! By Ulrich's wrath! Free company! Prepare for combat! Take position! Handgunners!
Wait. Let's not waste our ammunition, shall we? You guys are just shooting aimlessly at this point. That's something that doesn't need to be shot at. You can shoot there. You're gonna have to melee it a little out. Let's see if we can't get you over here to take the brunt. Oh man, my spearman got caught in a rear charge by those Black Knights. Those Black Knights are really causing me some issues. As soon as his Grave Guard is dealt with, I'm gonna deal with this Necromancer over here.
Go before me! Go to battle! I am master of Shamon.
Don't you run.
Gold magic.
Militia! We obey! Attack! Go! Sir! For Heldenhammer! Moving now! Withdraw! Sigma guides us! Now!
Start firing on that artillery unit.
To battle!
Or start firing with the artillery over there. Great swords unit, come back over here. We still are dealing with these banshees. Do we have any? Oh, we do have somebody in there. Get the handguns out of there. We don't need the handguns in there. What we need to, is Gelt to stop freaking out so much. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Spearmen, go! For Heldenhammer! Formation, march! Handgunners! For the comets, ready! Quick march! Take position! Quick march! Handgunner!
Yeah, this is where the micro breaks down real bad, unfortunately. Yeah, look at that, just tide of zombies. That's going to be all kinds of problematic.
I am supreme!
Gelt's going to have a harder time dealing with that, but it's everything we can do.
Spearmen, ready!
Keep them back.
The ground! For the Warhammer! 3 companies! Handgunners! Now!
Let's just have all of these units.
For Heldenhammer! Quick march! We serve the Emperor! Very well!
Forgot about that guy.
Mortar! Ah! Ah! Withdraw! My friends! No lingering! War!
Why did he run? Oh, probably because they have some sort of an aura that...
Great swords! No lingering! Handgunners! Spearmen! 3 company! Formation! March! Yes, General! Sigma guides us!
The Empire endures!
Oh, Gelt, he shattered completely off the field.
Preserve us!
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay,
Charge! Handgunners! Mortar! For France! We obey! Prepare for combat! To battle! Ah! Sigma, preserve us!
oh no, this one didn't go so hot.
Sigma, preserve us! Withdraw!
I don't think there's anything we can do here.
Sigma!
We managed to take out one of the armies, but unfortunately we don't have... So Gelt ran away, and yeah, our other guys are being overwhelmed. I think we would have done better to just auto-resolve that fight.
Outriders! Quick march!
Yeah, there's not much we can do at this point.
To battle!
Most of our guys are about to break leadership-wise, and
Speed!
that'll be the end of this.
Handgunners!
Man, that is unfortunate.
Outriders! Go!
So what we do, I think, in this scenario... So actually, let's go ahead and concede defeat. We did manage to take out the entirety of their one of their armies, and that army was actually more considerable. Hopefully Gelt will retreat to a better position, and then we can kind of reform and redevise a proper strategy. That was really unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do about it now. We're just going to have to reevaluate some of our tactics here. And again, hope we get some better positioning. So we managed to destroy a fairly sizable and expensive army, which is good. So that took the brunt of it. We lost a good amount of units, which is bad. But we've retreated pretty far away, so they won't be able to catch us, which is also good. So we should be okay for now. Yeah. I wish I could have caught him out. Looks like why are his units still in existence? I thought I wiped them out completely. That's probably not good. Oh, that might mean yeah, and Vlad's going to oh my. Oh my. This campaign might end sooner than I expected it to. That's going to be really unfortunate. Let's see here. So they take that. I'll give that back to Telebekland, unless I want to leave it with Hosteland. Yeah, let's give it to Telebekland. That'll increase our fealty with them. That's a good thing. We got an enemy killed. We got an item stolen, which don't really care about that item too much. Terrifying face mask of E. Ridiculous. So we don't really care about that. This construction manages to be completed, and yeah, they demanded a return. Okay. So what did we lose? Let's take a look. We lost. Looks like 3 units. So it looks like they were spearmen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still got all our handgunners. We got our free company militia. We still got the so we lost the great swords. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we lost the great swords and 2 of our spearmen units. Gelt is severely damaged.
I will marshal the men. It is time.
So what I think I'm going to do with Gelt is actually retreat here. Back to own territory.
On march.
Because fighting this is going to be a bad idea. We don't want to get into a fight that we definitely are going to lose. So here, it looks like I thought I killed all of them, but I guess because they won the battle, they recovered a little bit, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and take the moves.
Your weapons.
Auto resolve that fight. Let's go ahead and return it to Stirland.
Pick up the pace. What does the Emperor bid?
They're not going to stand and fight, probably.
Praise Sigmar.
But at the same time, I don't know that I even want to stand and fight them, because I don't want this guy I don't want Helman Gorst reinforcing with his army. That would be really bad for us.
To the provinces.
So this might actually act as bait for them to come back over here. So let's go ahead and move.
Moving off.
Over here.
This will bolster the nation.
There is power within prayer.
Actually, I wonder if I could. No, that will not work. They are.
I think not, mortal.
Too high levels.
Is it time?
Let's keep moving you over here to the Red Eye Mountain.
Moving off.
And we're going to. We are going to have to lick our wounds for a little while.
Let us begin.
Gelt's going to take a little bit of time to recover, but in the meantime, what we can also do is recruit. So we could potentially recruit some ogre mercenaries to bolster our backguard numbers. They're probably going to actually do better than the great swords because they're a lot faster and deal a lot more damage. Now there are a lot fewer entities in the unit, but that should be okay. Let's see. Can really only hire the one. You know, we'll wait on those. We'll wait on doing some buildings for a little bit. We need to recover from that. And In truth, I'm a little bit hesitant even to send him over here
The Empire.
because he doesn't really have the...
I think not.
Let's try it out. Worst case scenario, we get a battle that's nigh unwinnable, and we'll have to figure out where we want to go from there.
Our dealings will bear fruit.
Defensive alliance, no thank you. Yeah, looks like it's going to do the same thing they did before, where he reinforces, he goes in for the attack, but because this is a choke point, it might actually be way better for us. Let's take a look here. Yeah, choke point, that is much better for us, because then they're basically going to get smashed up against a wall of spears. Our crossbowmen are going to be able to use some overfire. So I'm a lot more confident in this fight than I was in the last one, so we'll see. Let's make another valiant effort. We're going to focus our artillery on the main bulk of the infantry army that's going to be incoming. And we're not going to worry at all with our infantry about any of their anything that's going to be incoming. So what we're going to do is we're going to post up a couple of spear units here. Couple of spear units here.
Swordsman!
We'll have some swordsmen to potentially reinforce.
Missiles at the ready!
And then we'll set up our missiles here. That way they can just kind of turn and fire onto anything, and they're slightly elevated, which is going to be useful. Then we're also going to have him post up, so he's going to be potentially charging into the front and attacking the damaged units. And we're going to put our mortars, so they're probably going to be funneling all over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our mortars like this. And if we need to, we can readjust their angle so that they fire over here, but we really don't want them firing over there, because that's not going to be useful to us. Depending on where their army comes in, where those units come in, that's definitely not going to be useful to us. Yeah, so they're going to be coming in from over here, so that's perfectly fine. So we'll just set up our crossbows like so. That way they'll be able to hit them right away, and then artillery... Oh, I forgot about the war wagons. They can come over here, so they have this ability which replenishes the area around them, which we're probably going to be using to replenish the crossbows. So the crossbow's job is going to have to be to decimate as much as possible all these units.
Faster! Mortar! Fire at will!
Okay, so the crossbows are doing their job. They're doing a lot of damage.
Mortar!
So let's have you focus there, you focus there, you focus there.
Understood! The Empire endures!
So they're dealing damage. They're not necessarily killing too many entities, but they are dealing a lot of damage. So they will start killing entities pretty soon here, and they're also going to start to crumble pretty soon here, which is really what we want. We want them to start crumbling and disintegrating and all that good stuff. This we're going to have to deal with soon. Got a big clump over there. As soon as I get a little bit closer, aim at those skeletons, because that's going to deal a lot of damage. You can see they're already clumping up really badly over there. Let's focus on the king, because these guys are basically going to crumble away now. And let's focus on that. We really want that lord to go down. He's going to be our main source of problems. Let's actually go see if our lord can go and get some armor piercing damage into him a little bit. Okay, so troops have uncovered hidden foes. Still okay. You are firing here, which is good. So I kind of need like the war wagons to post up right there. That way they can replenish very quickly. Let's have you fire on these skeleton spearmen. Have you fire on these skeleton spearmen. That way they're all kind of clumped and they're going to be getting the brunt of the devastation.
The Empire endures!
The Heldenhammer! Charge! Crossbowmen!
Let's have them focus on that one next. And let's see if he's in the right spot to replenish. He's in the right spot to replenish. Alright, I'm good.
Elevate cannon! Ready!
Let's have one cannon go right there.
By Sigma, obey me! No!
Missiles at the ready! Strike them
Let's have them
down!
focus on these Graveguard because they're going to be the biggest threat.
Get them!
And our Empire Captain can handle that. While our artillery barrage is over there.
What? Wise counsel! It will be done! Prepare for combat!
Crossbowmen! The Empire endures!
Replenish some of this. We're going to have our crossbowmen actually change position because they're going to be needed over here pretty soon.
Swordsman!
Let's send our swordsmen over here because this side of the fight is basically taken care of already. Now we have to focus on the other side of the fight, which is going to be a lot more complicated and
At speed!
labor intensive here.
Attack the men! Yes, sir! No! Missiles at the ready! Yes, sir!
So that's all taken care of.
Glory to the Empire!
So the artillery is going to bombard this area here. Those spearmen should hold for a little while.
By Ulrich's wrath!
Let's have our lord come back over here.
Go! Outriders! Fight for France! No lingering!
Ah! Crossbowmen!
Yeah, the artillery is really doing a number over here, which is really good. It's exactly what we wanted doing. This guy's having some trouble seeing, so I think I'm going to move him over here.
Outriders!
The war wagon can't really see
Quick march!
what it's firing at, which is problematic. Not the worst. Let's see if we can't just have him focus fire there.
General! Quick march!
That general is going
Whippers
to
at the
bolster his
ready!
men. See, I target the artillery at the ground because if I target a specific unit, it might accidentally hit our own troops. But if I tell it to shoot one specific patch of land, it's kind of our ideal scenario here. Yeah, look at that. Lots of damage. Lots of damage. Exactly what we want happening. Okay, that captain will focus there. I need you to stay put as long as possible.
Crossbows ready, General! Yes, my lord! Enemy wizards
Numidia, guide us! No lingering! Outriders! Yes, sir!
Cover some ammunition. So this is exactly the kind of battle we wanted for Gelt previously, where it's just absolute carnage with our artillery pieces. Let's have you change targets here.
We are Sigma
You can kind of keep shooting there. Where are you going? Let's have you change targets to right here.
Outriders! Ready to fire!
Have you shoot
Ready!
that guy,
We
their
are
lord.
Sigmar's heirs! For France!
Yeah, dude, because of the war wagons, I'm basically not losing any of my... I'm not losing out on ammunition, so he's summoning more zombies. Which, fine, by all means, do what you feel, but it's not going to matter. Looks like they're all going to start crumbling soon. Yeah, there they go. So as soon as their leadership breaks, they just crumble into dust completely, and I have just wiped out not only a legendary lord, but 2 sizable armies of the vampire counts, with a significantly smaller force over here. So following up a pretty major defeat with a pretty sizable win on our part, not a bad way to be. So it says close, but I think it's thinking close victory only because I lost a lot of ammunition. You see, look at those, look at all those destroyed undead with the mortars there. Look how well they did. You know, 620, 674, 460, really, really well done. Same with all the crossbows. I think this last crossbow was the one that was having a little bit of trouble finding fire, but finding the arc that he was meant to be firing in, but also potentially because he was shooting at Helman Gorst for most of the time. So of course his damage was more localized to a single entity rather than a bunch of units. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go with execute captives. So we still back our terrifying Mask of E, I believe, to double check what comes out of that. But we dealt a fairly sizable blow to the vampire counts there, which is really good. So yeah, it looks like Averlin's going to go over and finish off the rest of that army. Awesome. Okay, we gave them back the moot there. So I think our next step is going to go... Oh, looks like Needling managed to make its way back into the fold over there. With Sturland, or with Hochland, I believe, taking this. Let me make sure if I can... it's not showing the names. Or I can't read them fast enough, it's there. Either way, we'll give that back to Sturland. And then potentially confederate them as well so that we can have it for ourselves. So the first thing is return Needling to Sturland. Yeah, the terrifying Mask of E, we got that back. And then we also gained a camp follower for defeating that battle and a unique ability on our lord here, which is Helman Gorst or Ghost. It enables poison attacks and increases casualty replenishment rate for the Lord and his army. At least I believe it was for the Lord's army. And then the wound hostile activity failed for the Vampire Count's hero against ours. Looks like did they? No, okay. Deaths in battle. Vampire Counts died in battle. Cool. Okay. So that's that.
To the provinces!
So Gelt still needs to lick his wounds because he took the brunt of that.
Summon me. Moving off.
So we're going to put him over here. Let him think about what he's done.
Are you?
Let's see if we can... Another Eldard Guard. So what we'll do is we'll combine these.
Let us begin.
Combine these. Immediately hire an Eldard Guard. And immediately hire some Mornfang Cavalry. And then we'll round out... Let's see... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... I think we'll definitely need more spears. So we'll do that. We'll round it out with a bunch of spears.
Praise Sigmar.
Send this lord
Onwards.
further on. kind of want him to... Oh! Oh, I completely forgot about this quest. Okay, so this was Southern Obelisk, actually, that we managed to make our way to. Yeah, look at that, Province of Southern Obelisk. Cool. Okay, so we completed the Staff of Volan's quest. The next quest that we've been given is, it looks like a battle, because we've got enemy forces over here. Looks like a Chaos Warband. Let's figure out what's going on. Win the following battle with Balthasar Gelt's army. Staff of Volan's High Pass. Gelt's contract reports that the recent storms are almost certainly due to the activities of a chaos host rumored to be attempting the conjuration of a mighty dragon ogre Shaggoth, Kolek Suneater, the so-called Herald of the Tempest, somewhere high in the southernmost tip of the World's Edge Mountains. Gelt persuades the Emperor that this represents a threat to the Empire and sets off at the head of an army to intervene. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is take out this insane Chaos army. So it looks like a Chaos Lord cavalry, so he's mounted. A bunch of infantry. Looks like some Chaos Warriors, chosen with halberds. Regular chosen. Chosen with great weapons. Chaos Knights with lances. A giant trolls. All this craziness. We are not going to fight that fight anytime soon because we need a much higher level army to do that. So we're going to ignore that for now. Even though the Staff of Volan's is really good and we really would like it, it represents a rather significant challenge that we are not able to deal with at the moment. We basically just got our heads kicked in. We can't possibly fight a proper fight at the moment. Okay, so
Yes, my lord.
what we're gonna do... Let's see what kind of garrison. So it's a pretty full garrison.
What does
So
the
this guy
Emperor
can't
bid?
really fight
By Sigmar's
that
right.
by himself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to Averheim
Onwards.
and we're going to camp
Yes,
and just
sound
recover a
plan.
bit more. So we're making our way. Actually, if we go,
It is for the best.
let's go a little bit further
Stick to it.
than in camp.
This will bolster the nation.
That way we can. That way they'll have to deal with Averheim first before they get to us. We want to get back to our province and recover a bit with him as well. He did ridiculously well, but we also can't have him dying, so that's why we'll move him over there. We don't want to build up this province yet, even though that public order is just getting worse and worse. We're going to have to deal with that at some point here. Yeah, the next tier down, if this goes much lower, that we're going to end up in chaotic corruption levels of problematic. So... if not for this, we could enact a public order commandment here. Host Festag, which would be much better for us for that province, because that would put us to +1 instead of -3. I could remove the taxes for a little while. I think I'll do that. It's going to come back to bite me, I know that, because Gelt's about to recruit some units that are going to push his taxes, push our economy to the brink, but we're also not going to be getting into too many fights anymore with Gelt, at least not anytime soon until he's fully recovered from the previous fight we managed to get him into, which went so well. Everyone was there. It was great.
Welcome to my private study. Wine of palest gold will whet our palates whilst we speak.
Military alliance, no thank you. Again, I am not ushering myself into crazy wars. That would end so poorly for us. Oh man. I mean, we just saw what could happen when the best laid plans go awry. So let's see, we are there. Demand Isleheart's return. Oh, looks like Middenland is probably attacking. Middenland is probably attacking. Who is that again? Rakarth. So if he's attacking Rakarth, that's going to be all kinds of issues for us. So historically, the region of Isleheart has been under the Emperor's control, but currently it is ruled by the Leprechaun of another state. Emperor Karl Franz has requested the Golden Order help him return Isleheart to his court's rule. I'm perfectly fine with going up to 10 fealty with Reichland. We're going to want to confederate them eventually. Kislev and the Empire share a common history across hundreds of years in the Great War against Chaos. We fought side by side against the Chaos hordes, now with Norscan tribes threatening their borders and rumors of Chaos forces gathering in the east and north. Kislev is again in need of our help. Should we renew our old friendship and send martial support to aid them in their struggle? We can be friends with Kislev. We get a little bit of a tax penalty, but Kislev and the Imperial States can no longer declare war on each other, and we get some growth. And we get a huge diplomatic increase with Kislev. I'm definitely going to go with that. It's going to take a little bit of hit to our taxes, but it's worth it to not have to also deal with Kislev on top of everything else. So it looks like they pushed back on Rakarth here and the 1,000 Maws, which is good because next turn we actually should be able to confederate with Reichland, which is going to be super useful. It'll kind of spread our influence a bit more over here, and it'll help us take out 1,000 Maws, which we really want to do. It's going to open us up to potential attacks from our friend over here, the Barrow Legion, but well, not so much. Yeah, more vampires. Basically, he's a very powerful necromancer. Helman, was it Helman? No, it wasn't Helman Gorst. It was. Oh, I'm losing the name now. Hang on. I don't think I've detected him yet. Even though I can see him, I haven't detected him. Yeah, he's not gonna say. And I'm losing the name for some reason, but. Kemmler, Heinrich Kemmler, there it is. I think it was Heinrich Kemmler.
Yes.
That we really don't want to have to get into a fight with him. So let's walk Gelt over here. Oof, okay, hang on, let's do this.
Wind of Shammon, I will.
Put you into this garrison over here.
What?
I will marshal the men
And get you
to strengthen the
into
empire.
here. That'll... Oh, I didn't have the right movement for it. No. That's okay. 88 is not the worst. Negative 88 is not the worst. Okay, so let's take a step into the Red Eye Mountain territory. So move any character to the Red Eye Mountain. We succeeded. So win the following battle with Balthasar Gelt's army. Cloak of Molten Metal, Broken Leg Gully, 1. With the route scouted ahead, Gelt sets out for the Broken Leg Gully to claim the Gromrel for his own. The dwarfs can keep their secrets. Gelt will discover the means himself. So it's an Ark army. Wow, that is ridiculous. Plus reinforcements. That's going to be an insane fight. That again we are super not ready for just yet. So we're gonna hold off on that fight as well. Let's start having this guy make his way back towards. Actually, let's search these ruins.
Will be done.
Oh, I missed out. Okay, so I could have searched those ruins previously, but before finishing off his movement, but I done goofed. Okay, next turn we'll be able to. We'll upgrade Nuln and be able to build the Nuln Cannon Foundry, which we're going to be able to do because I don't think this is going to sap us enough to put ourselves under that limit, so we'll be able to do that. Great. So let's go ahead and not do that. Turn. We'll be able to get a lot more artillery fire, which is going to be amazing. We really want that artillery. It's going to be absolutely devastating to our enemies. Plus a confederation with not Altdorf, but with Reichland is going to be super useful as well. And with the damage we dealt to the vampires are, see, I was saying before, the vampires are ridiculously dangerous because their forces do not rout.
Friendship is more
So they'll just keep fighting even if they're losing. Defensive, no. You can see how Gelt And that's the danger, is that getting caught out by Gelt. Yeah, we're definitely accepting the Confederation. So Karl Franz has seen it fit to suggest a confederation between his court in Reichland and the Golden Order. Reichland is the seat of the imperial government and the richest, most cosmopolitan state in the empire. It has prime military importance as it is home to both the College of Magic and the Reichsguard headquarters. Due to the affluence of Reichland's capital, Altdorf, there are occasional challenges to Franz's power here. Will you accept Karl Franz's offer of confederation? Yes, please. Oof. Okay, so that is a bill. That is a bill. Okay, so where's that coming from? Let's figure out. So we've got
Summon the Elector Counts.
this guy, this guy.
Champion of the faith.
Let's see, we've got this guy, this guy, this guy. This guy, wow, wow. He has a lot of armies. I'm surprised that, oh man, sometimes the way the AI builds these things is just absolutely insane. Okay, so we don't need this here. You wonder why they're losing their areas. It's good to have this here. This can be here. This doesn't need to be here. This doesn't need to be here. We'll leave this because we need the money. Let's see, and we'll get rid of
What's the quarry?
you. Get rid of you.
The nation calls. The righteous hammer of Sigma.
Wow, okay.
Who calls?
Let's take a look here. So we gained Reichland. So we became the electric count of Reichland. So the electric count of Reichland gets a enemy power, winds of magic power reserve -15, research rate increase, recruit rank of Empire Knights +2, and a upkeep reduction, again another upkeep reduction statewide. So we're going to go with Emperor Karl Franz here.
Sigma's will.
Volkmar. Let's see, Volkmar is here.
Volkmar the Grim. The nation calls.
Guy, you've been amazing. You really have. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually want, since we can't unrecruit a legendary lord, I mean we can, but I mean let's hold on to Volkmar Grim, honestly, because why didn't the AI, why didn't it go into here? Why didn't I know, okay, so you're rank 10, or rank 9 rather, which makes sense, but why go into Honest Steel when his buffs are for, let's see, Free Company Militia, this is for Flagellants, and Free Company Militia Empire Knights. More Flagellant stuff. Yeah, his thing is all about Flagellants. It could have gone into Flagellants, but I guess Honest Steel Demigryph's Knight's not the worst. I guess that's the direction we'll take with this guy. So we're going to go ahead and boot him. Put Volkmar in here. We're going to go ahead and go like this. Get the Bloodbringer on you.
Ready.
So you got the Beast Slayer. You got the Silver Seal. All you need is Galmaraz. So eventually we'll get you Galmaraz. Let's see what they did here. Honest Steel again. They've gone through this entire line for no reason instead of just sticking with this. Iron Discipline. Growth all provinces. That's not bad. Great Statesman we'll probably want. That's not bad. Been nice to go down this line. Yeah, because he's buffing Reichsguard and So he'll definitely need great swords. That actually makes some sense. It's not bad. He's on an Imperial Pegasus, I think. Yeah, so let's put him into
On march!
Altdorf.
Your orders? Bring me to my men.
So we're gonna have to go ahead and get rid of you.
To the provinces.
Okay.
The Empire. The Empire.
You're inside Altdorf right now, so you'll need your army needs some work.
My knowledge is yours.
Let's put you in there to save us some money, and we'll go to Nuln and build our unique. No! Oh, something taxed us. Something taxed us, and I'm not sure what it is, but that little bit's what pushed us over. That is really unfortunate. Let's go with rifled barrels. Okay. Okay, so he just took back Helmgart, which is okay. We'll go ahead and do growth. Let's see, Wisenland can hang out for a second. That's not finished. Altdorf. Altdorf. Let's see here. Upkeep. Let's go growth. Dissolve those two. You'll have to get some better
By the
army
comet.
eventually.
Yes.
Imperial Foot. Foot Reichsguard. Basically Reichsguard, but on foot, which is not a bad thing. Might be interesting. But we'll leave them out because we can't afford the
General.
upkeep just yet. And in theory, Averheim should be falling right after. We're not going to spend any money because next turn we really want to build that cannon foundry. But we weren't able to build this turn because of
Do not waste my potential.
shenanigans,
Follow me.
which sucks, but we can't do anything about it.
I am the Supreme Patriarch.
Let's see. So this is a new mechanic in SFO that we have to keep an eye on. Imperial Power is that we actually get some debuffs. Oh, there it is. Construction cost plus 10% for province capital buildings, plus 10% for all buildings. Because I have, when your faction owns very few settlements, 1 to 5, there is little maintenance. When your faction maintains over 5 settlements, there is slowly increasing benefits and penalties. There it is. That's what's causing it. Oh, that is really unfortunate. Okay, but we'll deal.
The instrument of Sigmar's will.
Nothing horrific that we can't sort out. Okay, and it's been a bit over an hour. We were on a shorter episode last time, so we had some ups, we had some downs, we did some work, and the vampires took back the moot, which of course they did, because of course they did. But we'll deal with that. Come next time, we managed to confederate with Reichland, which has increased our control of the empire a lot more. We're going to be working our way towards having probably Volkmar the Grim. I don't know if necessarily we want to fight him or if we want to work our way north to deal with. Looks like chaos is. Yeah, the Northern Empire is just further devastated, but we actually also want to finish off this war, make sure that we take over all of Sylvania eventually, which might lend ourselves to confederating with Averland. Probably going to send Balthasar Gelt back to the vampires for round 2. Eventually we're going to have to build up
Prince and Emperor.
Emperor Karl Franz's armies, because that's kind of sad for the Emperor to have no Reichsguard even. Yeah, that's really, don't know what they were thinking. But we'll see if we can't recruit a few units of Reichsguard. Maybe we can potentially build. Let's see, where is Imperial Palace, Altdorf, Company of Honor, no. There should be. They moved some buildings around with SFO. Oh, here we go. Reichsguards. So Castle Reichsguard. So we'll have. So it's going to be a little while before we can recruit Reichsguard, but they're going to be super useful, and they require a blacksmith. Yeah, it requires a blacksmith building. Okay. All right, good to know. Empire Knights, eventually Demigryphs. But again, all that we will deal with next time once we stabilize a bit, if we can stabilize a bit, because I'm sure the vampires will have some problems with us confederating, more than likely confederating Averland and all that, assuming that that comes up pretty soon here. But again, we'll deal with all of that next time. So I thank you for watching. Have a good one, and we will see you in the next episode.